Hi, this is Ron Nutter, and this is the next video in the Pocket Troubleshooter series. Last time we had talked about an HDMI cable tester. Well, this time we're going to talk about one that does your Ethernet cables. And this is one that really probably most of the time when I have to troubleshoot a cable will tell me what I need to know, because this is very simply a go, no-go type of tester, because when you're connecting your Blu-ray player to the internet connection so it can go on BD Live or whatever apps are built into it, that this is going to tell you very quickly if the cable's the problem or not. So we'll switch over here to trusty old demo cam and we'll start showing you what's involved. This is one that I got off Amazon. There's some kind of seems to be a theme here that it was like less than $1,000 when I got it. Now it's not fancy by any means, but it does RJ45 and RJ11. So if you're still having phones wired around the house, this is another thing that will be handy from time to time. So in our case, the RJ45 will go in the larger of these two connectors. And I just happen to have a cable here to work with. So we'll plug it in here. And then we'll plug it, once I get the other end lassoed down here, we'll plug it on the other side. And then we'll just turn it on the slowest of the two modes, and you'll notice it steps down in sequence between each of the lines. Now, if the cable is good, you should see a 1-to-1 relation. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it should go to 7, 8. And now if you have a shielded connector, which is not that common, at least in home applications and in some commercial applications, then you'll see the last one light. But you see, as it goes through each time, it's going to step down, and you should see 1-to-1. Now, if you see a light come on this side, but not this side, that's an indication your problem is probably at this end. Or if you see light 1 come up and light 5 come up or 4 come up, anything other than 1, that says you have a miswired cable. And even with commercially made cables, that's still going to be a challenge. So it's not the fanciest of testers. It's a good tester. The one downside for me anyway is it uses a 9-volt battery. But in the next video that I'll make, I'll show you a way that you have of getting around that. At least it's an option worth considering. But if you don't use this kind of tester a lot, do what I do. Keep the batteries in the freezer. And even cold, they still have some useful life to them, but at least you don't have to worry about the batteries going bad. And I've since found a reasonably priced supply of rechargeable 9 volts. For quite a while, they were pricey and not that easy to find, and now I have found some, and we'll talk about that as an option in another video as well, because I'm big on rechargeable batteries if at all possible. Now, if you don't use them a whole lot, then it becomes a trade-off of the cost of the battery versus how often you use it. But if you've got something like a smoke detector that's going to use 9-volt batteries, rechargeables can over time save you some money. And when you go to change them at certain times of the year, it's when you would swap them out. But I get on to a whole other subject. But with this little cable tester, this is something that doesn't take a whole lot of room in your bag of tricks. It's there when you need it. As with anything, there's a lot of these to choose from. This is one that was like less than $10 on Amazon, and I do have the more expensive equipment, but I don't use it that much. So that's what makes this kind of option even better, because it does the very basics. It's going to tell you for very short cable runs where your problem could be. And sometimes it's a matter of unplugging and plugging the cable back in. But with the commercially made patch cables, occasionally there's going to be a quality control issue. Not often, but occasionally you'll have one where a pin is not lined up right, or a wire is not lined up right, or it didn't get crimped right. And this will save you quite a bit of troubleshooting. So worthwhile thinking about. And this is just another tool in the bag. And everything that I'll talk about in these videos is something that you don't have to have day one, but at least start building a list of what you'll want to have, and just add to it over time. There's always going to be changes, and I've been on the hunt now for a good USB cable tester, because there's all sorts of variations just in that cabling. but you kind of see where this is going. We've got I got several more videos planned, so I think this is something that will be helpful for both the person who's troubleshooting their home network versus somebody who's getting into the commercial IT world and is not sure what tools they may need. And you don't have to get everything at once, and you don't always have to have the most expensive thing. Again, it's one step at a time, and you can buy it as you afford it. Well, that's the end of this video. Do appreciate your time, and please watch more on Facebook where I've got this, and I'll be having this up on YouTube as well, and you'll be seeing these videos linked in my book, The Pocket Troubleshooter, when it comes out later this year if everything stays on schedule. Thank you for your time.